Good day, sir. First, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Crystal Joy de Jose, and this is my group members, Yashami Bitong, Arabo Romeo, Joy Cells, and Crisa Alcantara. And our topic is all about varieties and registers of spoken and written language. Learning outcomes. First is to determine culturally appropriate terms, expressions, and images, sensitivity to gender, race, class, and etc. Second, adopt cultural awareness and sensitivity in communication of ideas. Language varieties. In social linguistics, language variety is also called like a general term for any distinctive form, a language, or linguistic expression. Linguists commonly use language variety, or simply variety, as a covert term for any of and overlapping subcategories of a language, including dialect, register, jargon, and idiolect. Language variety. Variety refers to any variant of a language which can be sufficiently delimited from one another. For example, social, historical, spatial, or a combination of these. These are the 5 examples of varieties of language. First is Pidgin. Pidgin is a new language which develops in situations where speakers of different languages need to communicate but do not share a common language. Pidgin is a grammatically simplified means of communication that develops between two or more groups of people that do not have a language in common. Typically, its vocabulary and grammar are limited and often drawn from several languages. A lexifier is a particular language where the vocabulary of a Pidgin comes from. For example is Nigerian Pidgin. Second is Bislama, spoken in Banatu.
Varieties of language. Creole is a pidgin that became the first language of the children and the mother tongue of the community. It means that it is a language that comes from simplified version of another language or the mix of two or more languages. Example, Gala, Patois or Jamaican Creole, Pidgin or the Hawaii Creole in English. Second is the regional dialect. It is not a distinct language but a variety of a language spoken in particular area of a country. A regional dialect, also known as a regionalic or topolic, it is a distinct form of a language spoken in particular geographical area. If the form of speech transmitted from a parent to a child is a distinct regional dialect, the dialect is said to be the child's vernacular. For example, hillbilly and the Geordie. Third is minority dialect. It is a variety used as a marker of identity, usually alongside a standard variety by the members of a particular minority ethnic group. It means that it is a language spoken by minority of the population of a territory. Such people are termed linguistic minorities or language minorities. Indigenous varieties are spoken mainly as second language in ex-colonies with multilingual population. For example, Singlish or spoken in Singapore. It is the difference from the standard variety may be linked to English proficiency or may be the part of range and varieties used to express the identity. Language register. What is a register? It is defined as the way a speaker uses language differently in different circumstances. It also determined by factors as social occasion, context, purpose, and audience. The language register, also called linguistic register and the speech register, it is described the way a person speaks in relation to their audience. A speaker modifies their language register to signal levels of formality according to their relationship to their audience and intended purpose of speech. It determines the vocabulary, structure, and some grammar in one's writing and even in one oral discourse.
So let's discuss the 5 distinct registration. The first one is frozen. Frozen is refers to historic language or communication that is intended to remain unchanged, like Constitution or a prayer. The examples are the Holy Bible, the United States Constitution, the Bhagavad Gita, and Romeo and Juliet. Frozen registration describes speech that is so formalized that is often produced by recitation rather than spontaneous speech production. This can also be described as ritualistic speech and is sometimes called static registered because the utterances are spoken exactly at the same time. Second one is formal. Formal is used in professional, academic, and legal settings where communication is expected to be respectful, uninterrupted, and restrained. Slang is never used and constructions are rare. The examples are a TED Talk, a business presentation, the Encyclopedia Britannica, and Grey's Anatomy by Henry Gray. It is a formal publications and follow grammar rules carefully. This type of register avoids slang or colloquial terms. Never ends a sentence with a preposition and refrains from using contractions. The third one is consultative. Consultative is used in a conversation when they are speaking with someone who has specialized knowledge or who is offering advice. The tone is often respectful, but may be more casual if the relationship is long-standing or friendly. The examples are the local TV news broadcast, the annual physical examination, a service provided like a plumber. This register is formal and acceptable speech often used in professional settings. One is casual. Casual is used when they are with friends, close acquaintances, and co-workers and family. Examples are a birthday party or a backyard barbecue. This register is used among friends and peers and includes formal language including slang and colloquialisms.
Intimate, it is reserved for special occasions, usually between only two people and often in private. Examples: an inside joke between two college friends or a word whispered in a lover's ear. Intimate, it is having or being likely to cause a very close friendship or personal or sexual relationship. Some example is, the restaurant has a very intimate atmosphere, or he's become very intimate with an actress. So language registers are classified as formal language register. It is more appropriate for professional writing and letters to a boss or a stranger. It is impersonal, meaning it is not written for a specific person and without emotion. Examples are A. Business letters, B. Letters of complaint, C. Some essays, D. Reports, E. Official speeches, F. Announcements, G. Professionals' emails. Formal registers can include everything from an academic essay to wedding vows. Formal registers describes speech that is elevated, precise, and often professional, official, or impersonal in nature. Now let's proceed to rules in formal writing. So rules for formal writing, there are certain things that can be done in spoken English or in written English in newspapers, magazines, or lecture notes, or web pages which are not appropriate for formal writing. Okay, letter A, do not use contractions cannot instead of can't, have not instead of haven't, is not instead of isn't. Don't use don't or any other shortened negative such as isn't, hasn't, wasn't, or etc. Use does not, is not, and etc. instead. Letter B, out numbers less than 100. 19, 22, 78, or 6. So we need to spell out the numbers. Letter C, write in third person point of view. Avoid using the following: you, we, or us. The third person point of view belongs to the person or people being talked about. Writing in third person is writing from the third person point of view or outside liker looking in, and uses pronouns like he, she, it, or they.
Letter D. Avoid using too much passive verbs. Passive, the bone was eaten by the dog. Active, the dog ate the bone. A verb is in the passive voice when the subject on the sentence is acted on by the verb. For example, the ball was thrown by the pitcher. The ball is the subject. Receives the actions of the verb, and was thrown is in the passive voice.
To continue the rules in formal writing, next we have F. Avoid abbreviations and acronyms. When you try using acronyms, write the entire name out of the first time it appears, followed by the acronym. For example, National Aeronautics and Space Administration or NASA, Philippine Peso, PHP, the Department of Education or DepEd. For abbreviations, you need to write the complete word first, followed by the abbreviation. For example, President can be Pres, Department, Dep. And also, do not use slang abbreviations or symbols like LOL, OOTD, or COS. And last, do not start sentences with words like and so. Next is letter G. Do not start sentences with words like and, so, but, and also. Here are some good transition words and phrases to use in formal writing. First, we have nevertheless, additionally, however, in addition, as a result of, and although. And lastly, H. Always write in complex sentence. Write longer or more complex sentence. Next, we have the informal language register. Is a conversational and appropriate when writing to friends and people you know very well. This register is used in informal writing and in this kind of writing there is no any major rules. Informal writing includes A. Personal emails, B. Phone text, C. Short notes, D. Friendly letters, E. Blogs, F. Diaries and journals. There are no major rules in informal writing, but you can include things such as A. Slangs and cliches, B. Figurative language, C. Symbols and abbreviations, D. Acronyms, E. Incomplete sentences, F. Short sentences, G. First person and second person point of view, H. Paragraphs, no paragraphs, I. Jokes, J. Personal opinions, K. Extra punctuation, and I. Passive and active voice. Next is the neutral language registers. This language register is used with non-emotional topics and information. This is not necessarily formal or informal. It is not usually positive or negative, and it is used to deliver facts. Examples of writings that is written in neutral registers: A. Reviews, B. Articles, C. Some letters, D. Some essays, and E. Technical writings. A particular register is a challenge to us students. There is no special form of pronoun to use expressly in formal situation, but culture adds another layer of complication. Specifically, if you are not familiar and aware on how people are expected to behave and interact in a kind of situation. Your skills in language can be improved by enriching your vocabulary, looking for contextual clues, and use of illustrations. Listen for the tone of the voice and observe how people address other people. Look how they stand and consider the word they use. That's all. Thank you for listening.